Yo, time is 5:49 a.m. I'm just gonna do a quick stream because my phone's charging. Just run out of battery as I was messaging people. Come on, bro. Let me in. Hurry up. That's usually not that high. It's usually 100 and something. That's weird. What's up with the server? What's on the news? Suspect pleads not guilty. Oh, really? He's not guilty. He just rushed the fucking wherever it was held with guns out for no reason. Stupid idiot. Why would... It's fucking last gasp not guilty, bro. What are they talking about? The stream. One of my least favorite shows, but it's on every day. Fucking DLC, bro. I don't care about the DLC. Okay, this is interesting. Can you identify all 48 teams? Was it 48 teams in the World Cup? Okay. Spin the globe and tap a country to select it. You have 3 minutes to make 48 guesses. Ah, shit. Morocco. Senegal. Okay. Australia. New Zealand. This is cool. Japan. South Korea. Egypt. Not Italy. Spain, Portugal, France, UK. Germany. US, Canada, Mexico. That's default. Shut up, song. It's time to lock in. Brazil, obviously. Argentina. How many have I got? Oh, fucking hell. 17 out of 48. I don't know 48. Croatia. I don't think Italy got in. Big cold 11 Europe. I don't think Russia's allowed. Iran's not going though, right? Yeah, but they did get in. Fucking Vietnam. Fuck. Man, I'm not sure. Is South Africa good? Or did they just host one? Oh, risky click. Oh, good one. Maybe Namibia. I think they're quite good. Ah, shit. No, that's fucked. I don't know anything about Africa. Just pick these ones. Ecuador. Colombia. Uruguay. That was a fucking easy one. How did I miss that? I don't think Venezuela. What am I at? I'm like halfway. I'm literally halfway. How are there half more? The fuck? How are there 24 more countries in the World Cup? Who else is good? Cameroon? I don't know anything about these African countries, bro. It's probably Botswana, not Namibia, that got in. I don't know. Uzbekistan. I know that they play football because someone went to a match with them and here once. Oh, what? That was quick. What do you mean I scored 23? It was only 23. I only got less than half. Play again. How about you just tell me what they are? The fuck? What's this dumbass game that doesn't let you actually know? What's the results? I don't want to play again. Just tell me what the results are. Stupid ass fucking bullshit. Do you mean FIFA World Cup? Everyone calls it the World Cup though. That's right. Redirect me. Redirect me. The fuck? Voting? I don't care about that. Bum 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 bum. Teams, please. Who's on? Paraguay. What the fuck? Panama. Jesus, what the fuck? Panama. Okay. What the fuck is that? Bro, isn't that fucking Haiti? How is Haiti in the World Cup, bro? Of course, like, it's fucking all the Euros, bro. It's like all the Euros minus the East. All the Western Europe is on, except for Italy. I should have clicked these. That would have been easy click. Belgium, Netherlands. They get in every fucking time, bro. Scotland. Oh, they're separate countries. I thought the UK was one thing. Bosnia and Herzegovina. Okay, somehow. I don't know if they're good or not. Austria, Switzerland, Sweden, and Norway. Russia's not allowed to compete. Hey, Uzbekistan was a big poll, though. That was a good poll. Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Jordan, Turkey, okay. Tunisia, and Algeria. Alright. These ones, I should have got them. None of those, actually. Fucking Congo, something. Democratic Republic. Who are they beating, bro? Are they even good? Ghana and Ivory Coast. Okay. Was that all of them? Have I looked at everyone? Anything else interesting? No. Not really. Big surprise, the only countries that get out of Asia are the rich ones. Fucking stupid, bro. Why is it that the Europe went and conquered, like, not conquered, fucking hell, colonized Africa, and most of them aren't even like very well functioning countries these days. Aside from South Africa, which is like becoming shit. Is that because the fucking colonizers stayed in that country? Is that the reason? And the rest of them, they just abandoned them and let them fall apart. Eritrea is not allowed. They let North Korea play, but not Eritrea. That seems like a double standard. And Russia. What the fuck? How is North Korea better than Russia? Fucking stupid. That's all politics, bro. What a joke. I'm probably still banned. Yes, I am. Still can't post. They fucking blocked me from being able to duplicate. What is the point of me playing on this server then? Just to chat with people? It's fucking stupid. What the fuck is that supposed to be? God's sake. Maybe we can't use the duplicator. None of this... Okay, that looks duplicated. I was gonna say none of this looks duplicated, but that looks duplicated. Fucking stupid, bro. Mods banned me from duplicating just because my ping was bad for a while. That's fucked. Server was better when I had less intervention. It was always gonna become like this one day though, let's be real. Why don't I just pick another jib? Okay, what about this thing? No. Oh, what the fuck? What? I'm only not able to duplicate that, this guy. Why's that? No, what the fuck? No, I can. What the fuck is this stupid shit, bro? Now it works. I don't even know why. Listening into my microphone or something, bro. That's weird. The joke's kind of dead now. I was gonna make some dumbass sandbox farmer joke, but it's kind of not that funny anymore. It's funny like 10 hours ago. I bet the console guy's just watching in like fucking ghost mode or whatever. You know, with those powers he's got. Those admin powers. Alright. Yeah, that's what that's called. What the fuck is that? God's sake. Is there anything else in the news? I used to enjoy the news so much, but over the years it just gets boring because you start seeing the same shit over and over and over again. It's just lame. Trump rejects, blah blah blah. It's the same shit every day. Oh, hantavirus. I don't care about the hantavirus. Starmer. Hey, guys, when's the next UK election? Oh, it's 2 to 3 years away? So why are we talking about it then? Why are we talking about it when the election isn't for 2 to 3 years? Why are there 2 front-page news articles about the UK election, about, oh, the Prime Minister, who's gonna be the next one? It's 2 to 3 years away. Shut the fuck up. I'm sick of this shit. Dog shit ass journalism. This is fucking clickbait. Netanyahu using Iran war to reshape the Middle East. Oh, what? What? He's doing that? Damn, I didn't even... Who could have predicted that? No one could have predicted that even from the first day, right? Fucking stupid. Extremely obvious immediately. Water is wet, ass comment. Shut the fuck up. Dumbass former PM. No one cares. This article's only here because it's a Qatari news site, bro. Shut the fuck up. Why is Modi asking Indians to avoid foreign trips gold? Because he doesn't want money going out of the country, and he wants his people to spend their money, not save it in expensive items that don't do anything. Israel pushes for hangings and show trials. I don't care. That shit is a lost cause, bro. That's what people say about me. What are you gonna do? What am I gonna do? Tom Peters from the WSWS said to me, hey, people protest Palestine, but it doesn't do anything, right? That was his critique against, like, activism. He's right, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't have any effect at all whatsoever. It's kind of just like a signal, like, I don't like this, and that's all it does. Signals that a small group of people don't like it. People in Israel won't even protest, bro. Not largely. And they're the country that's doing it, and who's defending them? The United States, the strongest, most powerful, wealthiest country in the world, that the rest of the developed countries follow and bow down to all the time, right? Waste of time. Let's see the opinion piece. What's he gonna say? Fellow at Carnegie Europe. Carnegie what? Fucking fellow. I could be a fellow. Fucking Yankee propaganda, bro. Promoting active international engagement between the United States and countries across the world. Yeah, why would you listen to him? He works for an American associated organization. Of course he's gonna say Russia's losing the war. Guys, Russia's losing the war. They just happen to control, like, a third of Ukraine's territory and have done so since the first days of the war, and they haven't lost it. That doesn't sound like they're not going well. From the perspective of they didn't take the whole country, they're doing terribly. But at the same time, when they've gone from occupying none of it to occupying like a third of the territory, I mean, they seem to be doing pretty well, to be honest. It's a bit of a stupid thing to say. It is not just a stalled advance in Ukraine and economic woes that are worrying for the Kremlin, it is also a distant near abroad. What the fuck is near abroad? What does that mean? Fucking near abroad. You're gonna tell me this other article that uses the same term is written by the same person. He's the only person who uses it. You can't just make up words. Fucking. That's a Russian term. Don't expect anyone in English to know what it means, though. Independent post-Soviet states excluding Russia itself. Okay, you can just call that, like, whatever the English term for that is. Fucking stupid, bro. Damned intellectuals just making up terms. That's a joke. I'm kidding. Why do you not see any of this stuff? When was this? I would have liked to have seen footage. You have to, like, actually watch the news. Or you don't see it. It's bullshit. Do I have to sit down and watch the news hour every day? Like, come on. That's an hour of my time. It's probably worth it, but, I mean, seriously, I kind of don't want to have to sit there and do that. Why can't they just put the interesting stuff on the front page instead of the irrelevant stuff? Flooding it with useless information. Irrelevant information. Talk of Russia as a linchpin of the multipolar world. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. The Europeans are signaling they want to talk to Moscow. You know who doesn't want to talk to Moscow? Ukraine's leader, who has said they won't, they won't negotiate unless they get all their land back, which is never going to happen, so there will never be any negotiation. He said shit like there cannot be peace until the Ukraine has all of its land back. What a stupid thing to say. That's a fucking retard. I said from the first days of the war, you need a quick war, not a long, dragged-out one. Everyone loses in a long, dragged-out war. You should be trying to negotiate for an end to the war immediately, which Ukraine's not interested in doing, and Russia has no reason to. Russia has no reason to stop, and Ukraine isn't interested in ending it in any peaceful way. Without, you know, concessions that Russia has no reason to make at this point. What, are they just going to leave the territory they've occupied for the last 3 or 4 years or however long it's been? It's fucking stupid. What a dumb idea. They're so idealistic, these fucking Europeans. They don't live in the real world, honestly. It's all about morals and laws. That's all they're like. Moralizing, legalizing, stupid bullshit. Blah, blah, blah. Russian war effort in Ukraine. I think this is quite a biased article. It's an opinion piece, so that's to be expected, but I mean, come on. The Russian war effort in Ukraine continues to be stalled no matter how much money, material, human lives the Kremlin throws into the meat grinder. Well, I wonder why that is, because do you know who's backing Ukraine? Most of the developed world. They're not just fighting one small isolated country. If they were doing that, they probably would have won by now and they would have taken them over. It's because they're fighting like the backing economic and military backing, or at least economic. They provide military aid though, right? And training. Even New Zealand provides military training, for fuck's sake. Why is this country doing that? Why are they doing that? Of the entire West, right? Most of the West and the developed world is supporting that. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. This is boring. Say something interesting. Even some bullshit. Mark Carney. Oh, have you seen Mark Carney's speech? Hey, Mark Carney said we need to shift away from the US. Oh, how interesting, right? Shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. He's saying the most basic fucking shit that other people have been saying for like 100 years. And now you got some established retard who's finally fucking, you know, putting the words out. And what is probably some like minor effort which will not actually amount to anything. We need to shift away from the US, says fucking Canada that does like 90% of its trade with the United States. It's actually like 70% or over of its trade is with the United States. They are a slave. Canada is a slave. Mexico is a slave. They trade with the United States extremely heavily. They are dependent on them. It's fucking stupid. What a dumb place. Stupid fucking countries, bro. As if they could ever do that. As if they could actually ever be in a position where they say, oh, we're not highly dependent on the United States. They will always be highly dependent on the United States, and the United States will never allow them to not be highly dependent on them. That's how it works. People are too stupid. They're stuck in their idealistic fantasies. This is real politics, right? Not bullshit that people tell themselves. These fantasies, these fairy tales. What is this saying? First, okay, EU, Armenia. Second, with no ambiguous terms that Yerevan says it's... Okay, I don't even know if that's the case. Like, you could just be saying that shit. Investment. That's how they get you with the money, right? That's how they turn the allies of the non-West against the non-West. This is a boring article. No one knows what these fucking places are, bro. Does not mean that Armenia... I don't know why I'm reading an opinion article, bro. Diversifying. People should be aware of diversifying. If you try to play both sides, you know what happens? When the sides get into a conflict of each other and you don't pick a side, the winner says, hey, you didn't help me, so I don't give a shit about you. And the loser says, hey, you didn't help me, you basically fucked me over. Right? Study Machiavelli, and people don't do that. This is in The Prince. Right? You have to pick a side. When major powers are fighting each other, if you don't pick a side, you get destroyed by both of them. You end up losing twice. Because if you do pick a side and your side wins, you're victorious. If you pick a side and your side loses, then the losing side still sees you as like one of them and will treat you better because of it. If you don't align with either of them, you end up losing both times. You don't win, but you don't just not win. You end up in a situation where you didn't just not win, but the countries that lose look at you and they say, why didn't you help us out? And they hate you for it. That's just how it works, right? It's like two people beating each other up and you don't intervene. Or someone getting bait is that's the more obvious one, right? Three people around, one person beats another person. So you don't do anything, right? You can, and you pick at the start, right? You can go with one person or the other. If you go with the person that wins, you're the victors and you take the guy's stuff. You go on your way. And, of course the guy you beat hates you, but, I mean, you beat him. What's he gonna do? Right? He's gonna come back at you? No, he's weak. He's lost. Especially if he's dead. He just can't come back from that. Even if you fight with the loser, I mean, this isn't necessarily good advice for, like, real life. Obviously, you want to avoid violence. But even if, the point is in politics, even if you get with the loser, you build a relationship with the loser, and they see you in a positive way. All these third way countries, notice how they never fucking do anything or achieve anything ever. Notice how they have never achieved anything at any point in their fucking history since the modern age. Notice how third way is just like our country will never be significant in any way, shape, or form on the world stage, and that's just the truth, right? Tell me why countries like Indonesia and fucking, Egypt, Algeria, South Africa, India, why are they so insignificant on the world stage? It's because they don't commit to anyone. They don't pick a large power and walk with them, right? Like, my country's done. Like, I don't necessarily agree with it, but this is the right thing to do. This is the reasonable thing to do. You say, why can't a country like India, why can't Indonesia, why can't South Africa, why can't, like, Brazil, fucking, Egypt, why can't they align with China, right? Why don't they do that? Why don't they align with the United States heavily? Because they're fucking stupid and their leadership is too unintelligent to understand that. They think they're helping themselves by not picking a side. They're going to, like, there'll be this third option that is successful. That will never happen. I can tell you as a fact that isn't going to happen. There isn't going to be, a third way that is successful. It doesn't exist. You've got the American side and the Chinese side, and those are the two major powers these days. Russia's on the Chinese side, Iran's on the Chinese side. America's got like the West and Japan and South Korea, right? All the countries in between that don't pick a side don't do anything and don't have any influence. And, they're kind of irrelevant, honestly. Singapore, who's Singapore with? They kind of sit in the middle, but I mean, economically, they're on the side of the United States, more or less, the way they run their economy. But culturally, they're with China. I mean, that is, at least they're close to the two sides, you know? Even if they don't fully commit to one, at least they're actually close to them as opposed to these stupid fucking third world countries which are not only committed, not only are they not committed to one side or the other, but they aren't close to either of them in any way, shape, or form, and do their own third thing, which, as we can all extremely clearly see, does not work. If their leaders are so good, why do they not change their strategy when they recognize the fact that it makes their countries poor and it doesn't develop them well? Why would you, if you were struggling and you saw someone doing well, why would you not look to imitate them? Why do these countries, which are so ineffective at governing themselves well and becoming successful as others have, why do they not look to the successful and try to imitate them and copy the parts that have led to their success? Sometimes I think they try to do that, but they don't do it very well. Right? Singapore was a very poor country, and then they copied the West and copied, you know, I don't know, sort of some of China's policies and combined the style and did very well out of it. And now it's a very wealthy country, right? Other places haven't done that, and they are suffering as a result. It's not a coincidence. People are like, oh, this is just the way it is, and, you know, in the future they'll be successful, and everyone will be. That's not true. That's totally untrue. Seriously, I swear people don't understand why things are the way they are. They are the way they are because of the choices that people in leadership make, and they keep making those choices. When you have similar or the same leadership, or even different leadership just made of the same kind of people from the same country that make the same mistakes over and over and over again, and you have the same issues endlessly, why would you not blame them for essentially preventing your place from being successful or otherwise ruining it? Honestly. They're in control of the country. It's their fault, isn't it? It's their fault and the fault of the people who vote for them. Are these people just extremely ignorant? I have to try to kind of believe that that's the case, because either they're very, very stupid, or they're corrupt, or they're ignorant, or some combination of the three. It's probably all three. Stupid and corrupt and ignorant, right? I don't know why these people hate Russia so much. It's not that bad of a country, really. Right? It's not an absolutely awful place to live. I don't know why. Like, why do they say, oh, you know, some people in Russia, their toilets are outside of the house. They don't have indoor plumbing. Or something like that. You know, bro, like, in fucking Nigeria, 80-something million people don't have power. What are you talking about? Seriously. Russia went from one of the most backward countries in the world, basically a shithole with, like, slavery, feudal slavery, whatever it was called, you know, serfs and stuff. I can't remember what it was called. Is it serfdom? I don't know. So, a very developed country in a short period, because they changed their leadership. It can be done. But the people who run things, and the dominant countries in the world don't want people to know that. They don't want people to know that you actually can just change the leadership of your country and give it better leadership and a different system, and it will work better, and you'll develop faster and be more successful, make more money, have a more stable country with better government, better systems, better infrastructure, all of that. They don't teach the Russian Revolution in schools, do they? Not really. It's not really taught, and if it is, it's like heavily biased. So like, oh, you know, Stalin killed 1 billion people, guys. As if Stalin is like the point of the Russian Revolution. Stalin is the corruption of it, not the point. It's fucking stupid. Public opinion, here's what we were on. Public opinion is in favor of diversifying relations, but not a complete breakup. Yeah, because they're fucking stupid and all they care about is the money. That's gonna bite them in the future. Right? Stupid place. Pick a side. Are you with the Americans or are you with Russia? That's how it is if you're in Europe. Are you with the Americans or are you with Russia? Right? Politically, economically, culturally, you have to pick sides on these things. They think they're going to take a third way. The third way leads to corruption. It always does. Right? Every fucking third way country that is distant from, you know, they try to play both sides well and come out on top. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. As a system, it doesn't work. You have to pick a side. Pragmatic. It's not pragmatic. A synonym for pragmatism is corruption. They don't have strong guiding values except money. Why do they do it? Why do they say, oh, what is it, Armenia? Armenia wants to get closer to the United States, but also keep Russian ties. Why is that? Because they only care about money. That's why. All they care about is money. That's not smart. That's short-term thinking. Short-term gains, long-term consequences, right? Russia failed to, or was reluctant to, support Armenia and against Azerbaijan and prevent the loss of some stupid regional bullshit. I remember that. Armenians are right to look for... Why is this fucking opinion page? He just so shit. Right to look for alliances elsewhere. But without a peace treaty with Azerbaijan and without formal normalization with Turkey... Okay. Neighboring Iran. Why is being a mother so expensive in the United States? Because they don't have public healthcare. And it's an expensive country. American companies operate on the basis of extracting as much value from the consumers as they can, as possible. What do you expect? They don't do proper capitalism anymore. There's not enough competition. They've run out of that. They've just turned into treating the people buying things as like mindless like slave object things. They treat people like objects. That's the problem. It's fucking basic ass opinion. The war in Iran will likely end in American retreat. Oh, really? What? The Americans are gonna retreat? No way. What? I thought they were gonna put boots on ground. Wait, you telling me they haven't put boots on ground even though they've been, like, fighting for, like, 2 months or something? And have made no progress in, like, 1 month? And they're just gonna retreat? What? How surprising. That's not surprising at all, dumbass. Shut the fuck up. Who's paying these people to write these articles? I could write better shit than this. Jesus Christ. Could, but I can't be bothered. I mean, that's what being an opinion piece writer is, isn't it? You can just say whatever the fuck you like and say, well, it's my opinion. Funny as fuck. Hey, that's just my opinion. It doesn't have to be true. Isn't that kind of ironic? People winning a democracy exposes the erosion of a democracy. How does that work? I'm not gonna read that. This is fucking boring, bro. Stupid ass sports news. Who reads this shit? Sports. What a waste of time. Blah, blah, blah. Ron says US making unreasonable demands. What do you expect? I swear, did these people not pay any attention to global affairs at all whatsoever? All the US ever does is make unreasonable demands, you idiots. The fuck? You dealing with a Trump presidency, dumbass? Jesus Christ. It's supposed to be unreasonable. You're not supposed to find it reasonable. That's the whole point. These people are fucking stupid. Why are they still operating like it's the early 2010s or the 1990s or something? Things have changed. And the people haven't changed with them. It's fucking stupid. Wow, how slow are they, really? How slow can you be? That's what retard means, honestly. People are deserving of the label. Gaza filmmakers slam BBC after shelled documentary wins BAFTA. I don't care. Palestine this, Palestine that, Iran, Iran, Iran. That's all this fucking website's about, bro. EU agrees to restore full trade ties. I don't care. I don't care about that. Kenya hosts Macron. Why the relationship matters to both. I'm sure Kenya's a real big deal for them. They probably take some important resource for like real cheap. And they want to keep the prices down, right? That's how it works. Well, let's see. I want to see if I'm right. Ah, fuck off. I'm gonna reload the page or something. Here's why the relationship matters to both. Yeah, somehow I think it matters to one way more than it matters to the other, bro. Kenya's interests will be subordinated to a neo-colonial power. Oh, really? What? Who could have thought that African trade with Europeans was like being subordinated to a neo-colonial? You could say the same thing about Latin American trade with the United States. Or Chinese trade with East Asia, right? Oceanian trade with East Asia. I think China actually trades more with like Southeast Asia than East Asia. I don't actually really know who East Asia trades with. I think it's more diverse. There's so many summits, bro. I bet it gets boring as a world leader. Chat, chat, chat. Blah, blah, blah. You have to know about every fucking country on Earth and act like they actually matter. Oh yes, I care so much about this shit. Fucking hell. Why don't they just be real? So much bullshit in the world. No one's honest. Everyone lies all the time. Everyone lies all the time. Literally. It's a fucking joke. A summit which brings together African leaders and business executives from across the continent and beyond. What is this, fucking Davos? African Davos? Blah, blah, blah. Fucking Czech Republic? What? Sovereignty. And what does that sovereignty give them? Tell me exactly. Is Kenya a nice place to live? Is it a wealthy, developed, stable, low corruption country? Is it developing? Are they becoming wealthier at a good rate? I don't think so. Sovereignty. I always hear about fucking... Oh, you know, the most important thing that these trash fucking countries have is their sovereignty. Oh, actually, I don't think that is the most important thing. I think the most important thing a country has is that the people who live there actually live fine lives. I don't really care if it's sovereign or not. I would rather be in a colony that has a nice quality of life than in an independent sovereign country that's a fucking shithole. Look at Haiti. Do they want to be Haiti? You know? I mean, that's what sovereignty with no intervention looks like in terms of being a poor country. Terrible leadership, government collapses, it's overrun by gangs, there's crime everywhere, murders all the time. Right? Place is ruined. Totally ruined. Right? What's the sovereignty worth? You have to ask the question, right? France has also been accused of undermining African leaders, with Macron facing condemnation after saying African leaders... I forgot to say thank you. What do you expect? He's a piece of shit. What do you expect? Of course he's gonna say that. Why would he not say that, bro? None of them would be a sovereign country today if the French army had not deployed in the region. What was the point of this stupid fucking section here? This is all I care about. Wasted my time and effort. Kenya offers political stability, economic opportunities, and strategic access to the West Indian Ocean. Investment, infrastructure, security, and international influence. Direct investment, yeah, because they can't do anything themselves, can they? Why would it be? Oh, it's not an equal partnership. Yeah, why would it be an equal partnership? French businesses have easy access to the Kenyan market, and French nationals have visa-free entry to Kenya. Who gave them that? Kenya did. Why? So why doesn't Kenya have the same rights and privileges? Because Kenya gave it to France without actually requiring that France do the same thing. I wonder why they would do that. Maybe because they're the lesser partner. Right? I was surprised. France doesn't actually need them. They would like to have some of the things that they can provide. That's basically it. They don't actually need Kenya. Kenya needs investment because they're not actually going to do any of it themselves to develop their country. And what are they going to pull themselves up by their bootstraps? You know why people say that phrase? To pull yourself up by your bootstraps? Because it's fucking impossible. You can't pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. Unless you're in fucking anti-gravity or something. How does that even work? It's impossible to do. It refers to a situation that you can't actually help yourself out of. Which retards have used incorrectly to mean, oh yeah, you just struggle through it. They're not going to struggle through it, bro. They need money, right? And the leadership knows that. That's why they're getting closer to a foreign country. Yeah, of course they want that. Oh, they want to move away from things that prioritize raw material exports and aid-based relationships that create dependency. Well, yeah, we'll see, because I don't think any of them have actually done that, unless they want to take the China model. Which, I mean, I kind of doubt they're going to do that. Raw materials? I mean, they could do fucking industry, but I doubt that's gonna happen. Do they know economics? You have the primary sector, you have industry, and you have services. I mean, pick a couple, pick a percentage for each, and commit to that. Shouldn't be so, like, what's their plan? So they want to do less of the primary stuff. What are they going to replace it with? What are they going to be making money off of? If they need to be making money bringing it in from overseas, what are they going to process the resources themselves? How are they going to get the funding to do that? Who's going to build the factories? Who's going to work the factories? Kenyans? Who's going to pay for it? Who's going to give them the funding? Who's going to organize the companies? Right? Who's going to do that? Are they, the people in the country, going to do that? Like, there's not that, like, there's literally like 3 or 4 sectors of the economy, things that you can do to make money in a country. If they're not going to export raw materials, which is what makes most of Africa's money as far as I'm aware, what are they actually going to do? It's a nice thing to say. This is like saying, oh yeah, I want to stop taking drugs that I'm addicted to, right? Because it is like a drug. It brings them money, but it doesn't develop the country very much, right? Fucking mines. What does a mine develop? You have miners, people who mine the rocks. You have roads, and you have trucks to carry the fucking the rocks and materials, and you have like boats to ship them off to foreign countries. I mean, that's basically us. And you're like, oh, why is this country not doing very well when the things are making money? That's all they need, and that's all it does. It's not that fucking complicated, honestly. It's kind of obvious when you're like, how do these places make most of their money, and what does that actually require them to do to make that money? Right? This is basic fucking high school economics, fucking Keynes or some shit, right? I honestly like, what other thing are they going to do? Like, fucking working for Facebook and reviewing the Ray-Ban glasses AI videos, which was like in Kenya or something. That's what India does, bro. Do you want to be India? No, I don't think so. No one wants to be India, bro. Maybe Africa wants to be India, I don't know. India looks worse than Africa in some places. What pisses me off is the pride. How can people be so proud of these places? I'm not even proud of my own country, and it seems far more developed than these other places. How can you be proud of, a lack of success? What do they blame anyway? What do they say is the issue? That's what I'd be interested in finding out. What do they think the issue is? Because people will recognize that there's a problem. I'm not really sure what they think the solution is to it, or what the cause of the issue is. Macron strengthened ties because there's rising anti-French sentiment. Kenya's position as a hub for East Africa makes it a strategic entry point. Kenya, blah blah blah. The UK and the US both maintain bases in Kenya. What is that if not neocolonialism? Military bases on your land, bro, and they're talking about sovereignty. You are an occupied state. You are literally occupied. Australia has an American military base as well, and New Zealand's in the Five Eyes. This is such a nothing article. It's just saying nothing. Where's the interesting stuff? They're all like this, I swear. It's just words and words and words, missing the important details. Show me something interesting. Shut the fuck up. You said this already. You said this already. This is like a high school student writing their essay trying to hit the word limit. Nationalists are fucking stupid, bro. I mean, that's how it is, right? What we need is internationalism, socialism. Defense agreement leaves Kenya vulnerable as a proxy. Foreign forces stationed in the country could involve Kenya in military operations or disputes. I don't care. That's irrelevant. Why is it talking so much about this fucking defense agreement? Fucking nationalism. Get real. National what? Honestly, bro. Honestly, the only people who can be proud nationalists are the Chinese and the Americans. Anyone else has to shut the fuck up. I won't accept it from anyone else, and even in those cases, I think there's heavy criticism to be made. Absolutely. I heard about people talking about how the Philippines was hot. That's not in South Asia. What I read it is Southeast. Is this red or is it AI? It's AI. Some fucking people in India are like, oh, to get rid of the heat, you need to carry an onion in your pocket or some bullshit like that. Why are they still on this bullshit, bro? This fucking Ayurveda or whatever it's called. So some stupid fucking Indian Hindi science. Pseudoscience it is. Fucking stupid. China does that as well. I can't believe they still do that shit. It's pathetic. Why is this article so long? It's hot in South Asia. There's the article. The end. A whole bunch of nothing afterward. How many times have they said this shit? This has gotta be an ancient article, right? It was only from 2 days ago. Can they stop posting the same fucking stuff? This is spam. That's literally spam. They said that before the war started. Shut the fuck up. It's irrelevant. I don't need to hear what has been said 100 times before a long time ago. That's literally like one of the main reasons why they started the war in the first place. He said that months ago. This site's fucking trash, bro. I'm sure it didn't always used to be this bad. Culture? They don't have a culture section. This guy's such an idiot. He says, oh, the ceasefire's on life support. Put boats on the ground, you fucking loser. He won't commit, because people will die. That's the biggest threat, is American deaths. That's all they care about. He's wasting his time. He's wasting everyone's time. They're just sitting around. Doing fuck all. Stupid fucking war. Nothing happens, bro. Nothing happens in the world. It's not like it used to be. Shit used to happen in the world, honestly. It's all bullshit these days. What a waste of time. Remember when they went to Iraq and they got rid of Saddam Hussein? I mean, they did Venezuela. Have they transformed Venezuela? Have they taken it over? No. They just put in a favorable leader and they're gonna just leave it as it was. It's fucking stupid. They're not even actually gonna develop the fucking place. They don't care if it develops or not. They just want control over it. It's stupid. This is what American dominance looks like. It's like anti-growth. It's they don't actually care about development anymore. All they care about is like keeping things the same. That's all they're interested in. So they go to war to essentially just keep things the same. Right? They get rid of Maduro to keep Venezuela as it currently is, not to actually develop it. Right? They say, oh, we're going to make it a wealthy country. No, they're not. That's not going to happen. Right? They fought in Afghanistan for like 2 decades, and it's gone back to the way it was before they fought. What a waste of time, right? They don't actually intend to have a long-term plan for anything. They don't have long-term plans in the United States. They just do things because they have this short-term feeling about it, right? And, yeah, I mean, long-term, nothing really changes, right? Oh, we got rid of Iran's air support. We got rid of Iran's navy. Well, the military still controls the country, and you're not putting boats on the ground, and you're not going to, right? Oh, it's gonna be a war. It's gonna be World War III, guys. There's gonna be real fighting. Nope. Nope. Barely anything. Barely anything. Not a real war. No Americans. No Americans on the ground fighting, dying, on the news, war footage. They're not doing it. It's not going to happen. It's a waste of time. Why even bother paying attention to the news, bro? I just repeat the same shit every day. It says, oh, I'm going to end the ceasefire. Oh, we're going to take over the country. Shut the fuck up. Stop talking. All he says is bullshit. Waste of time. You think, oh, something's happening. Something's happening. Oh, they took Maduro. Something's happening. Oh, wait. It's gone back to the way it was before. There's no change. It's just the United States controls it now. Oh, they're attacking Iran. Oh, something's happening. Oh, wait. They're not actually going to control the country. They're not even taking over the country in that. And even in Venezuela, they're not actually taking it over. They're just installing leadership that they like they've done in like a bunch of Latin American countries for a long time. Have those countries become wealthy and successful? No. Name a wealthy and successful Latin American country. There aren't any. They're all poor, more or less. They're all corrupt. They're all pretty bad places to live. And they're all American influenced now. I mean, Cuba is an American influenced, and it's a shithole. Doesn't make a difference. They're all poor. Didn't used to be, and then the USSR collapsed. Now it's a very poor, not great country. Nothing happens these days, bro. Nothing happens. Nothing turns into anything. There's really nothing major happened since, like, you know. When was the last time something major really happened? Maybe like COVID-19? Maybe that was the last major thing to happen in the world? Why? Because it's entrenched, bro. It's stuck. Even if someone kills Trump, someone else will take his place, and the system will continue as it has, as it is, as it will do, you know, for a long time. Probably for a long time. And you say, oh, people are going to get upset. Oh, people are going to get upset, and we're going to get protesting, mass protests, riots. The revolution's coming any day. No, it's not. No, it isn't. Because when people get upset, the people in power just find a way to make the people give up their protest and, like, feel better about their situation. Distract them, make them feel better, and nothing really changes, right? Well, they pay off certain sections of the population, and the organizations collapse. Because that's how capitalism works these days. You can just pay people off, right? Remember BLM, Black Lives Matter, how big that was, and it just fell apart and turned into nothing? Nothing's changed. Remember how, like, literally nothing has changed since then? Racism's as bad as it's ever been. Like, it had no lasting impact, and it was just a pressure release valve. Just a way for people to protest and get angry and, like, you know, express themselves. That's what they let you do. They let you express yourself, and then they say, okay, you've had your expression. Now we're ending it, and things are gonna go back to the way they were before. That's how it always is. That's how it always is. Why do you bother? Why do they even bother? Right? That's how it works. You have your protests, maybe a bit of rioting, you know, a bit of symbolic violence. Some people go to jail. And then, after a while, people get tired of it, and it ends, and everyone moves on. It's like nothing happened. Tell me a revolution that has happened in a developed country within the last, like, 50 years. I don't think there have been any. I don't think there have been any. In the West, for example, there haven't been any in the West. It's too stable. The system that runs it is too easy to pay people off, and it is too... People have too much to lose, basically. That's why they're not interested in actually, affecting or carrying out or putting into action real change, because their lives aren't actually that hard. They just want to complain about something a lot of the time. Even the people who do have hard lives, I mean, what are they going to organize? Are they going to start the revolution? No, because no one wants to do that. Because even people with really bad lives think, oh, I've got too much to lose. Maybe my life will get better one day. Yeah, that's wishful thinking. Maybe it will, right? And keep telling yourself that, and keep doing nothing, and just put it all on a wish, right? A wish with no action. That'll surely come true, won't it? Or just keep grinding, keep working to make more money or something, That's what people are like. Watch TikTok all day, play video games, distract yourself, watch the news. Just ignore everything. That's what people like to do. Go out, party, listen to music, chat with people. Don't focus on the real issues, because they'll never change, right? It's stuck. I think people can't even imagine another system, honestly. No one knows about socialism. Aside from, I think, Stalin, Mao, Stalinism, the Soviet bloc. They're not educated. No one's educated on that. No one reads the texts. People are lazy these days. I swear people don't even read anyway. People, you say, oh, people aren't reading socialism, bro. People aren't reading at all. People aren't reading much of anything, or they're reading bullshit, literally. I was talking to someone on an app, and they said they liked reading. I'm like, what are you reading? And the book they're reading is oh, your thoughts and your mind determines your reality. How stupid. How stupid. This is the thing, this is the kind of bullshit that they tell you to ignore what is actually causing it. Material reality. Which is that things are determined by the conditions of your life. Not the state of your mind or whatever. It's total bullshit. Manifestation is what it's called. It's called, manifest. This is this dumbass bullshit. You might as well pray. It's the same thing, right? This is like telling someone to pray and their issues will fix themselves. They've rebranded it as this non-religious thing called manifestation. It's fucking stupid. I can't take these people seriously. Why is there an Asia and then an Asia Pacific? Can China help the Iran war? That's totally the wrong question. Everyone knows that. The question is, Will they help end the Iran war? And the answer is no. They won't. Because they don't do that shit. China doesn't like helping. They don't like getting involved. Stupid. They're an unreliable ally. They didn't get involved in Ukraine. They're not getting involved in Iran, bro. They don't even like Iran that much. They'll do some useless diplomacy that probably won't even work. It's up to the US. Everyone knows that, right? We are, and the United States is one of the strongest periods. I mean, they've kind of been in decline since the 1990s. But, I mean, that's still the strongest country on earth. Strongest, wealthiest, biggest military. I think the leadership is a bit stupid, but I mean, they're also not they're not entirely ignorant. I think they're aware of what they're doing. Even if they're not, I mean, even if they aren't aware of what they're doing, you can tell it's more or less just an expression of how things in the country are, right? I mean, they are a democracy. It's not as if Trump took power with the military or something. You say, oh, well, the American people don't actually want this. They didn't vote for this. They did vote for this. They voted for Donald Trump a second time. Like, half the population saw his 2016 to 2018 term. Or was it to 2019? How many years do they have? 17, 18, 19. Is it 4 years? 16 to 20. Or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. They saw his first term and said, yeah, we actually want more of that, right? And they looked at the Democratic nominee. What the fuck? How did this happen? They looked at the Democratic nominee and they said, we don't like her. Most of them did. And they didn't vote for her. And she lost the election. Right? I mean, Joe Biden won, and like, I mean, he was what do you even say? I mean, the guy was like not even mentally capable at all, and people were like lying and saying, no, that's not true. Yes, he is. He's totally fine. Shut the fuck up. Oh yeah, after like the 100th issue, we're supposed to just keep believing this bullshit that there was nothing wrong with that. Bro, he was totally losing his mental capabilities. You could see it live. Stumbling his way through everything. He couldn't do shit. Even when it was pre-prepared, he couldn't do it. Jesus Christ. Fucking useless, bro, honestly. You literally got like a guy who's like fucking disabled and a guy who's like a complete idiot, and that was the competition. That was Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. Guy who's like mentally incapable because of his old age is like kicking in, and a guy who's like a total idiot who has basically no logic to anything that he actually does and is like extremely corrupt. That's a fucking crazy combination. And you throw in Kamala Harris, who's just totally unlikable, like, just the type of Democrat that nobody likes. people only vote for her because of her policies, but she's actually a highly unlikable person. You know, fake nice, that's what she's like. You can tell that they resent Trump because he's honest, and he wins even though he doesn't do any of the bullshit that the rest of them do, and that's funny, and I kind of support that, even though I don't actually agree with them on like virtually anything else. I think people are tired of the bullshit, and what is it gonna be next? Gavin Newsom, as if he's not a bullshitter, he's a total bullshitter. He's a fucking Obama level bullshitter, bro. He's like white Obama, that's what they want, white Obama, right? It's the state of American politics, and the 2020s. They want Obama v2. Now he's white, right? And people think JD Vance is just Trump but more reasonable. Come on. I think the United States needed a Trump. I think if they didn't have one, they would have created him. Right? It's exactly what they were looking for. That's why he has such a cult of personality in their country. Fucking scams people and gets away with it all the time, constantly. Makes millions scamming people. He gets away with it constantly, and they let him do it. They let him do it all the time. It's a fucking joke. Look at their country, bro. This is what democracy gets you. They voted for this shit. That's the funniest part. That's the funniest part. Because they're like, oh yeah, democracy protects people's rights and it gives you, it's a protection against authoritarianism. Is that true, really? Do you know, the thing is though, if people want it to happen, it will happen, won't it? If enough people want those things to happen, under a democracy, there's nothing preventing it from happening. What are they talking about? Right? What else was I gonna say? I can't remember now. Yeah, it's funny. Oh, right, yeah. Tyranny of the majority, like Alexis de Tocqueville or however you say his name. That's the issue with democracy, is when you get a large group of people who just gangs up on the smaller group of people, they're actually allowed to do that, usually, right? If a large group of people says, for example, let's kill everyone from a small group of people, they can vote for that and do that, and it's totally legal, right? Or if they say we want to deprive this group of people of rights, they can vote for that and they can do that and it's totally legal, right? The United States didn't let black people vote. They kept black people as slaves. They didn't have any rights, right? For a long time. It was a democracy that whole time, right? Didn't stop until a large number of people decided it wasn't acceptable anymore. They actually fought a war over it, so it wasn't even just a democratic thing where everyone said, oh yeah, this would be fine. Because a bunch of their states actually got upset when they said we don't want to do slavery anymore. Why was that? They said, oh, we're making too much money off of it though. That's what we make all of our money off of. If that happens, we're gonna be poor. People are proud of that, bro. They fly the Confederate flag. Large percentage of people without twang in their accent. Ancestors were probably slave owners, running plantations, or at least supported it. And some of them still do. It's probably not even a small number. I mean, you can see this very obviously because when you got something like a rare chronic illness, you say, oh, why does the country not do very well for these people? Right? Oh, well, because those people make up a small percentage of the population, and so they don't have a significant voting effect. If they all choose to vote for one party or not to vote for another one, it doesn't really make a difference, largely. Yeah, in a democracy, instead of petitioning people in power, which you can do, but, I mean, that is reliant on the fact that those people get into power again, right? And that they actually see what you think is valuable. And you say, well, what do the people in power in democracies actually consider important? Well, it's whatever gets them votes. And whatever gets them votes is the same things that people will vote for them for, which is essentially just what a lot of people agree with, right? It's the same thing, which you say, what does that mean? What does that do? It forces you in a democracy to have to appeal to a large number of people in order to get anything really done. To get laws passed, to get rights given, you know, any of these things. To get government funding for stuff. I mean, you say, oh, but for some of those things, you just talk to the person controlling it, and they might give it to you. Yeah, but the thing is, it's the same. It is the same issue, right? Because the people controlling things in democracy are judged by, like, in democracy, the question is not, like, is this a good or bad thing to do? It's how many people agree with this. That's it. It is the role of the majority. That's what democracy is. That's what it's supposed to be. That's how it's designed. What you have is what most people agree with, right? It's what most people have voted for. That's how voting works. Politicians campaign on what they think people agree with, and that's how they get votes because people who agree with them vote for them. That's how it works. It's rule of the majority, more or less, right? In this indirect parliamentary kind of way. You vote for representatives that you like, that you agree with, and they represent you. This is how it's supposed to go, ideally. And you get what you want out of that. Except, it doesn't actually work like that if you're in any way a minority. Because if you're a minority, you don't really get represented unless you can find a lot of people like you and group up and specifically vote for your issues. Right? Which doesn't always happen. Sometimes there aren't enough of you to have an effect. Because the question is not like how big is the issue or how severe it is or the actual, inherent value. It's just a how many people agree. That's all it means. That's right. It's a what do you call it? Well, it's a popularity contest. It's just about what's popular. That's all that really matters. Is just being popular, right? Popularity contest. That's what elections are in countries like these. Politicians want to be popular. That's how they get votes. Democratic elections are essentially a popularity contest. They're not about what's the right thing to do, what's the best thing to do, what's actually going to be the most successful for our country. It's about what is the most popular. Sometimes people are stupid. Often people are stupid. That's some retard on the mic. Shut the fuck up, Volta. That's kind of harsh. I don't know. I don't know the guy. The fuck, I haven't written a note in like 2 days. Will of the voting population and the um, I don't know, like competence of the candidates. I don't think it's that complicated. Uneducated or value a lack of education. It will likely lead to uneducated candidates being elected and poor decisions being made. Why do we have a former CEO running New Zealand? Right? Because we live in an anti-intellectual country which actually values that more than someone who's actually intelligent. That's the point. As if CEO is like being prime minister. They're not similar at all. They're just two totally different leadership positions. It's not a dictatorship, right? He doesn't want to be accountable. He's like not even doing interviews anymore with some news organizations. Guy's useless. He thinks, oh, if I just don't show myself, it'll be better. Maybe it will. Maybe he will win again. That's possible. I gotta use the bathroom. I mean, why would you expect an uneducated population that doesn't value education or is actually anti-education to, in a democratic election, vote for educated leadership? And then tell me why countries with very uneducated people always seem to vote for uneducated leaders. Because they do. All the time. All the time, everywhere. Right? stupid people make bad decisions. What do you expect? I often wonder if the Chinese system is better, where they just let the leaders who are competent run things. And, like, it just seems to work. Seriously. Because, I'm not saying China's better, but the system does seem kind of attractive to, you know, as opposed to this, really ineffective kind of democracy that we have in a place like this. Who am I supposed to vote for if people don't represent me, for example? If I'm a minority in certain areas, in quite a few areas actually, who am I supposed to vote for? Am I just supposed to run for office myself? You know? Because it kind of seems like that's the only option when literally nobody represents you. Politically, socially, economically. And I literally, I do mean politically, socially, and economically, I'm not represented in parliament. At all. People are focused on fucking ethnicity and sexuality. I'm talking about the real shit that actually affects things. You know, the important stuff. So, I like socialism. Marxism. There are no actual socialist MPs to vote for. Okay. I have ME/CFS, chronic illness, forced onto drugs by state. I don't even know what the coercion. People in the Green Party will be like, hey, yeah, I've got a disability. You know what it is? ADHD. You know, the thing that you can take drugs for and it essentially treats it. Like, shut the fuck up. That's not disabling, bro. You're not incapacitated. You're a politician. Okay? Get fucking real. You're not in a wheelchair. It doesn't actually affect your life that much. It's one of the most minor fucking things around. It's not, I'm not saying it's super minor for everyone, but, that is not, like, what I consider, like, life-changing disability to, like, an extreme degree. Right? What else? Socially marginalized. And alienated. Outcast. Slash. Dissident. I am poor. I mean, you would say, oh, well, Some of the Greens are kind of socialist. One of the Greens, at least one of them's grown up poor. Poor-ish. I don't know if they were that poor. Yeah, but do they represent me? Well, no. If I'm thinking about this one individual, I don't think that they do represent me, because they're not really a socialist. They just like the way it sounds. And, yeah, they don't support my interests. Unemployed. That's another one. Any of these things get represented in Parliament? No. No. Debilitating chronic illness? Absolutely not. State coercion? Absolutely not. Are there even dissidents in Parliament? No, there aren't. They're all part of the establishment, literally. Are any of them poor? Well, no, because they make 6 figures. Have they grown up poor? Maybe. But the money corrupts them. Have they been on welfare? Probably not. A lot of them probably not. Have they lived below the poverty line? I doubt it. Most of them haven't. Socialism. It's not popular. The people who say it, they're just putting on a performance. Have they read Marx? Have they read Lenin? Do they support those things? I don't think so. I don't think so. This is a joke. Makes me want to run just as any alternative. If only we had more than 3 years, less than 3 years to, you know. It's not like you can just run at any point, can you? Not really. You kind of have to, well, it's that 3-year cycle. None of this shit gets represented in Parliament, bro. I'm not represented by any of them. This is kind of the only things that matter to me, to be honest. I mean, and like, okay, maybe like I value intellectualism. You probably can't even say that about most of the people in that. This is an anti-intellectual country. Tell me why they don't vote for intellectuals. Well, because the people here are anti-intellectual. Right? Stupid people make bad decisions. Anti-intellectualism is a fundamentally stupid position. It's a position for idiots, right? It's the I'm an idiot and I'm proud of it position. That's what being an anti-intellectual is. That's the point of it. That's all that it's about. It's having pride for being stupid. Being uneducated. They say, oh yes, I'm uneducated, that means I'm smart. That's essentially what they say. Is that a lack of education makes you intelligent. Yeah, I don't think so, bro. I don't really think that that's true. Why is my ping so bad? I'm not even... I'm uploading a video. It's kind of fucked though. Okay. So these are like the material things, right? This and this, and kind of this. Or this is like an effect of this and this. This is material as well, and then this is like what I think is the solution to the material issues, right? The material issues, the solution to the material issues, and I guess the values from which the solution is derived. The values and the material issues. The values and the understanding of the material issues from which the solution is derived, which I would say is Marxism. You know what I don't like about the World Socialist website, the Socialist Equality Party? They don't seem to be concerned with finding solutions to my issues. I would think that socialists would be, interested in finding solutions to stuff like this. I mean, that's why socialism matters to me, because it provides a solution to all these issues that I have to deal with. Provides many solutions. And yet, all that the WSWS Socialist Equality Party cares about is working people. They don't care about the unemployed. I can tell you that. Right? They don't have a policy for unemployed people. Their entire policy is based on organizing workers, and that's it. Tell me, are they actually doing that? No. They're just writing articles and being cliquey about everything. That's literally all they do. I mean, I like their articles, but at the same time, I mean, it seems like they didn't even try to actually make me a proper member, you know? The concerns were like, oh, do you fit membership? And do you agree with everything that we agree with? And they wanted me to read this whole fucking constitution that's like 100 pages long or some shit. And say I agreed with all of it. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I swear they don't want members, and I think he basically said that they're not actually concerned about growing the movement or anything. They're concerned about like just being right in the way that they think is correct, and that's essentially it. Yeah, and then I guess they must wonder why they're not very successful. I was surprised. They don't even try to appeal to people. Just say what they think is correct, and that's it. I kind of respect it, though. Like, I can't lie, I'm a bit like that. At the same time, I don't agree with them on some things, and you can't really negotiate with them on that, which kind of makes them a bit pointless, in my opinion. There's, like, big issues that they have over, like, what I think are kind of small things. Minor disagreements that they make into major conflicts. That's what people criticize Trotskyists for. They make a big deal out of very little. I agree with their criticism on Stalin and stuff like that, but yeah, there's just too much of this divisive fighting amongst people who actually have common interests. It's stupid. Like, what's the point of it? Is that why they're allowed to exist? Because they're more or less incapable of actually organizing anything. Will they ever actually get organized and do something? I don't think so. Too cliquey and, whatever the other word is. They're too strict on what they think is correct. It's a bit stupid. And they're literally, like, critical of everything, except Trotsky, of course, because he's their, like, god figure. He's their fucking messiah. a stupid joke. Why? They can't even criticize their own figurehead. It's fucking stupid, bro. Marxists can criticize Marx. Leninists can criticize Lenin, but I don't see Trotskyists criticizing Trotsky. It's fucking stupid. That's what they're like. I'm totally open to criticism, but I don't think that they are at all. Like, that's something we don't have in common with each other. And, kind of puts them as being a bit, you know, they're not very open people. I mean, you know, think if people want to take you seriously, if you want people to take you seriously, you gotta, like, build up credibility, right? Do they have that? Do they have that when the basis is kind of just criticizing everything? That's kind of the only thing you can rely on them to do, is to just be kind of contrarian. Seriously. They say they're building a movement. Like, what movement? Where's the movement? I'm not seeing a movement. No one's seeing a movement, in fact, because it's not happening. Right? This is some fantasy that they have, which we can see is not actually realizing itself in reality. It's not actually becoming real. What have they achieved? They say they've been around for like 70 years or something, and what have they achieved in that time? Basically nothing. Just writing articles, that's all they do. That's all they're capable of. They can't organize, they don't actually do anything. They're not active in people's workplaces, which is like the whole fucking point. If you're gonna be so woke as this, woke as that, and say workers are the most and only important thing in society, right? Why don't you actually try to organize that? They're not even doing this. They just write these stupid articles. It's fucking managed opposition. Do they even realize this? They're like putting all their effort into writing critiques about stuff that people don't actually read, instead of actually organizing the working class. Why is that? Probably because a lot of people don't actually like them. Honestly. Do they think that they're likable? That it's likable to, you know, just think that you're totally correct without actually listening to other people's perspectives? They don't even try to expand their worldview. I mean, open. Are they open? Open to understanding? No. It's a yes or no question. The answer is no. There's not really there isn't much nuance to it. People call them sectarian. What does that mean? It means they're really concerned with little details that aren't that important, and focus on them even more so than, like, the actually important stuff, you know, like anti-capitalism. They want a planned economy. They really think that's going to work. What a pipe dream. Every country that has had a planned economy has not been successful, right? You can't have a planned economy without a heavy degree of, like, development. What the fuck are they thinking, right? Oh, we're against market economics. You know, the only thing that has ever historically worked. Doesn't all have to be market, but I mean, seriously, where's the evidence that this would be successful? Because there is a lot of evidence that it wouldn't be, where they've tried it and it has failed. There's also evidence that countries that have tried, say, market socialism have been relatively successful in doing that, right? Like Yugoslavia was relatively successful with market socialism. Why do they think that they're correct about that? Who the fuck is Zombs? Like, I'm looking at what works in reality, and I feel like they're just concerned with what sounds good in theory as opposed to, like, what is actually being done. Do they really think that if China had continued with a planned economy, it would be doing well today? So, like, it seems like every country that has ever tried to do a planned economy has been unsuccessful in doing so, right? Because of the conditions that it creates. As in, it's been a failure in virtually every circumstance that they've tried it, right? Even in Russia and the USSR, they had to reform it and allow market based reforms in order to you know, to fix the issues that it had, shortages, stuff like that. I swear their argument would be like, oh, well, it's wrong because Trotsky says so. Isn't that what they say about everything? Fucking stupid. It's wrong because Trotsky says it is. Actually, Trotsky wrote about how market socialism doesn't work because Marx advocated for a planned economy. The fuck are they talking about, bro? I read the AI. I don't think it gave a very good example. A very good explanation. I meant to say explanation. What did they say? Look, I can reread it. I've got it up. The fuck? I don't think that they think a transitionary period is necessary. I think they think you can just go from like fucking capitalism to fucking communism, which is really stupid. Yeah, I think that's idealistic. Because in the cases where this has been tried, it hasn't been very successful. I wonder if there's any more food in the kitchen. Bruh. What are some examples? I know Yugoslavia. Who else did it? Like, can't remember. In practice. Czechoslovakia. I was gonna say the Czech Republic. And I got some food. Yeah. So it ended up as white collar managerial class control. Didn't really change anything. Anyway, what's this? Doesn't Lenin criticize left communism? I can't remember what that was about. It's like an essay or something, I can't remember. Yeah, that's right. Isn't this what the WSWS does? Refusing to work within reactionary trade unions or participate in parliamentary elections. And Lenin criticized this in 1920, and that's what the WSWS does. That's what I've criticized them for. They don't work with trade unions, and they don't participate in elections. What are they doing? Have they even read this? Yeah, I remember him saying this stuff. It should make compromises, alliances. There's a good quote. I can't remember what it was. So I probably read this, right? I can't remember. I prefer audiobook. I'm sure Socialism for All's got one. See, look at this. I knew he'd said this stuff because this is where my policy comes from, right? It's reasonable. Must engage in practical, often slow work rather than relying on abstract revolutionary rhetoric. I mean, like, the WSWS says, oh yeah, it's gonna take a long time, but they also don't do any actual practical stuff aside from writing articles. Whereas, are they not just relying on abstract revolutionary rhetoric? Is that not just what they're doing? Okay, he does have it. It's 5 hours long. Why did I read those? Maybe he just says the same things in his earlier works. Or not earlier, but other works. The ones I read prior. Isolation, right? That's what I said about the WSWS. They are very isolated because they won't actually work within the systems that there are, so they're not successful in anything. They're not able to be because there isn't another way to do things yet. And this is exactly what they do. They refuse to work with trade unions. More or less, sort of. And they don't participate in elections in a lot of places. Stupid people. They'll say, no, no, we're not like that. We're not like that. And yes, you are. And this was 4 years ago. There's a Wikipedia page on it, that's nice. Quick summary, so I don't have to read the whole... It's probably like at least 100 pages. I guess there's no way to say that. Yeah, workers' councils. And the Mensheviks. Wasn't Trotsky a Menshevik? Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, I mean, you're supposed to be inspiring confidence in working class people. How are you supposed to do that if they don't have confidence in the methods that you're trying to use, right? It's a good point that if people look to Parliament as like, here's how you get power in the country, shouldn't someone who wants power aim to be represented in Parliament, or at least try? Isn't that the point? Like, so the working class sees Parliament as the way to gain power, as opposed to possibly just violent revolutions. You can still have violence and revolutions, but tired. I'm gonna go to bed soon. See, I mean, offer an electoral coalition with Labour. When I was talking to Tom Peters, he said, "Oh, his party wouldn't work with anyone." That's fucking stupid. That's not Marxism, you idiots. You're putting yourself in an inevitable position where you will never be successful ever, with any amount of effort, because of how isolated they are. How stupid can you be? Honestly, it's stupid fucking policy. These people. It's impractical, right? I gotta go to bed. Alright.